Okay, I almost had a catastrophe there. I couldn't find my charger cord. Okay, so what I do is put a little bit of sauce on the bottom so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And these noodles are al dente. I had to stir them because if you don't stir them, they have a tendency to stick. And you don't want that. So, these aren't cooked all the way through. Now, I have realized that these noodles are longer than my pan, so I have to cut them down a little bit. So you dredge them through the sauce, then lay them flat alongside that, along the edge. You might want to put a little bit of sauce on the inside edge of that, which you can do just by going like that. You know, there's a little bit of sauce on the edge of that. And my first layer is going to be meatballs. So I'm going to get a couple of meatballs, smash them up a little bit, put them up against that first layer. You are going to want to add a little bit more sauce. I put a little weight here so that I can fight with this thing a little bit if I need to, which I'm having to right away. And then you're going to get another noodle. Cut it into place, into shape. Dredge. Stand it up. Then you're going to want to get another noodle, cut it into shape. Do the liquid. Now I add extra red sauce on the meat side, but not really on the cheese side, because the cheese is going to be liquidy just by being melted cheese. And then stand it up. And we're going to go with more meatball. Now there was already some red sauce in the bottom of the pan, so I let it scoot in. Let the meatball take that up. And again, I'm going to add a little bit more sauce. Oops, here we go getting messy, but the messy cooking's the best. Get another noodle. See, the noodles went limp, but they're not soft, so that works. Again, it did get a little bit too soft on me. sauce. As you can see, this is not an easy process. I am having some minor little difficulties. And stand it up. And what's nice is I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch from the top, because at the end, after, you're going to put a little bit more red sauce, and then you're going to top it with mozzarella, the mozzarella ball that I got. Got a little heavy on that one. So the layering here is the most important process of this lasagna. Until the cheese is having a little bit of a difficult time at the end, so I am going to make sure there's plenty of cheese in this one. And slide it up. It's going to have a tendency of wanting to lay down. That's why I got this styrofoam and I perched it up and I put the weight next to it. That way it's going to work with me. Using gravity here. Okay, so then get another big noodle. Now I am starting to accumulate a bunch of little noodles. So at some point, you're going to want to use those. In this case, I'm going to lay that down like that. And I'm going to get this little piece of noodle and add it to right there. Push it all up. And the meatball layer. You notice I crushed my meatballs with these tongs because I didn't intend them to be meatballs. I intended them to be my meat layer. A little bit more red sauce. The excess piece off. The next, oops, I didn't dredge it. Always remember to dredge. It's trying to split, so I gotta control it. You're going to work with me here, noodle. So if you notice the noodle starting to fall apart, that means I did overcook it just a little bit. Before I started this process, I got spoons, I got wood spoons ready, I got my tongs ready. I didn't know which tool was going to do the work the best, but I planned for it, so turns out the tongs were the winner, the ones who were going to do what I needed the best. So in the morning, I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to cook this. I would estimate about maybe 45 minutes. Okay, now I have all these extra pieces, so I might as well use them. Here we go. You know, I forgot to put extra sauce. So I'm lifting up the noodles and letting the sauce that I just have on top there go onto the meat. But there's already one in there. Now I accumulated a bunch extra. Stay up there. Stay up there. And I put them the wrong way. That's the problem is. So I accumulated extra sauce. You can shove that extra sauce up to the top because you don't want the extra sauce for the ricotta layer, which is going to be the one that's going to finish this thing. It looks like. Cut off the extra piece, go through the sauce. Now, I'm thinking I could get another meat there, but I'm not going to do it because I want this thing to flatten out when I stand it up so that I still leave enough room for the mozzarella on the top. Now, just like on the bottom, just like on the first layer, the edge, you want to have a little extra sauce so it doesn't stick to the edge, the bottom. Just flatten it out like that. Add a little bit extra sauce on the top. Now, even though it looks a little mixed on the top, when they cut into this, they're going to see layers. It's going to be a lasagna. And that sauce is so freaking good. So tomorrow morning, I'm just going to put my mozzarella ball slices on top, put it in the oven for 45 minutes. You might want to cover it with aluminum foil so that, either cover it with aluminum foil so that the cheese doesn't melt, or cook it for half an hour. In the last 15 minutes, put the mozzarella on. You don't want the mozzarella to burn. So that would be the process. And there you go.